Good evening and a very warm welcome to the Grassroots Weekender show, and as you can see in front of your screen we've got the brilliant Dan. Well done, Dan.
Yeah, Mal, how you doing?
Not too bad, straight home from school, all ready, fed, watered. Great stuff, mate. How's your week gone?
Not too bad, school, the usual. I've started Thai boxing, which is a nice bit more fitness, but my stomach's killing me because they made us do 180 sit-ups in about 4 or 5 minutes. That was agony, but I've worked my way through it and I'm getting there now.
Thai boxing, is this to do with the refereeing or so?
No, it's not. It's just for fitness, to be able to get myself higher along in the promotion pathway of a referee.
Well, that's a good thing, I must admit, because I'd have otherwise gone on to it thinking, what's happened in your grassroots games? Everything been good there?
Yeah, it has, yeah. I got called up to a quick friendly yesterday at Wavertree. My dad has contacts with one of the team managers.
All right,
so
okay.
I came down and brilliant game, under 10s. Everyone shook hands at the end. It was brilliant.
Well, what I just want to quickly advertise is the choir that we've got tomorrow, Dan. But I can't, off air we were talking about who we've got involved at the moment, which is going to be announced.
Anonymous.
Yes. Until we announce it, until we get the official that we can announce who the main singer is and who's going to be supporting us behind the scenes. But it should be pretty good, shouldn't it?
Yeah, it sounds good from what you've been telling me. Obviously it's moved from a Friday to a Saturday now, so hopefully get a couple more young singers and we shall see where it progresses.
Yeah, and that's what we're after, a couple more young singers. And if we can have a couple of males there, because all the males seem to shy away, Dan. I don't know what it is. They've got good voices, but they get embarrassed, I think. We've only got, 3 lads, but if we had another couple more lads involved in it, that'd be brilliant. Because there's thousands upon thousands of kids who play football who've got good voices. The lads out there, aren't they? So, we need to, get yourself a little bit of bottle. You don't need your mate, just a bit of confidence. It's a brilliant project. We know what's going to happen. The song is Lean On Me, and the original was by Bill Withers. Now, if you look back at that one, it'll give you an idea what the song's about. But we've got our main singer and his musicians recording it already, and then we're going to record the choir. So what we need is a couple more 7, maybe 8 to 15-year-olds to get involved with us. If you're confident and got a good voice, don't hesitate to get in touch with me, mal@don'txtheline.com. And as Dan says, 6 till 7, it's changed. Saturday evening, we've got a great choreographer who's making sure that the kids have it all right, and we'll also have a film, a music video to go by with a production company. Hopefully, as we say, we'll be able to announce it next Friday on our show, Dan. That'd be nice, wouldn't it?
It would, yeah. Obviously, how far have we progressed now since obviously we started the choir to where we are now, I think.
Oh, great.
Getting more and more people involved. Obviously it's based around the grassroots football, obviously.
With the Heart of Gold initiatives, we know what that's all about, and it's one step ahead towards mental health at grassroots football, and that's a massive important subject as well, Dan. Many kids have suffered with that, so we want to put awareness on there, and that is why people are getting involved, and we're doing all as much as we can to make the awareness, let the kids know, giving them a voice and giving them their confidence back. So watch out, watch this space. It's going to be pretty big. Okay, Dan, I've got to announce this. You know yourself. We went out the Carabao Cup. We didn't see you last weekend. What's your take on that one?
I think in the end, obviously the team who works the hardest gets the result. Personally, Newcastle did work the hardest, but there was one incident I believe that should have been overturned. It was a penalty decision to Liverpool. I believe that it was an unnatural position on the hand of Kieran Trippier, and it should have resulted in a penalty.
It was blatant, wasn't it? And
it was.
I can't understand why there hasn't been a big noise about it, because you know yourself, if it was the other way around and the score was different and it was Newcastle who didn't get that penalty, what would it have been like, to be honest, Dan?
It would have been a lot different.
They'd be screaming everywhere, wouldn't they? And they'd be showing it day in, day out. Everyone would have gone against it, but it hasn't. And don't get me wrong, Newcastle did deserve it. No one's taking that away from them. They were up for it. For some reason, I thought Liverpool, because we beat them in the league easily, maybe they got a little bit cocky and thought, yeah, we'll do it again here. But they just didn't perform, did they, as a Liverpool team should?
No, it wasn't, and I think it was obvious on the field. You think Newcastle all over them for the entire, 98 minutes it was, I think it went to in the end.
Yeah.
I think the right team won on the right day.
But even again, no, Dan, the goal Liverpool scored, why did it take so long? Everyone could see it wasn't offside. And it just took forever, and it took the sting again out of that game.
Exactly. I think when they do it, they look at obviously different angles, they look at slow motions, but even straight away, as soon as they found the right frame of when the ball was played, which is in the laws of the game states when the ball was kicked and clearly moves. So as soon as the ball's basically been kicked, that's when they have the frame paused. And once they found that, it was obvious he was onside. He was onside by, I'd say, at least a good yard.
And it just took so long, and that was an important time, I suppose, because if Liverpool did get that back to 2-2, I think it would have been the other way around. That Newcastle were down,
100%.
Out on the feet, and you could see the fans still worry, couldn't they? But they done the right thing. Newcastle, they took it to the corner, and they done that masterfully, and that's what won them in. So congratulations to Newcastle. We can't say any more about it. And now we're into international, Dan. It gets a bit boring, doesn't it? To be honest, when the international break comes, for all the fans who are watching Premier League games.
Yeah, it just comes to a halt, like you said, and obviously I believe England play tonight, am I correct?
Albania, yeah.
Albania tonight, it's Thomas Tuchel's first game in charge of England, so we shall see what the verdict of his managing career is at England, and hopefully he chooses the right team with the right players, and we'll get through.
Well, he's only changed a couple of players, only Jordan Henderson he's brought in, and brought in with Rashford, and there has been a big stir about that, but to be honest, those lads did do the job when they were playing for England anyway. There was no reason why they could have been dropped.
New England players that came through.
Yeah,
I think.
And Rashford seems to have found.
Cole Palmer.
Yeah, and Rashford's found his
form. Through with Jordan Henderson, I think 34, 35 is he now?
Yeah, but he's still holding midfielder. He's got it. He can pass the ball, and he still would have been probably a success at Liverpool. And that's what we were probably missing there at Wembley. Saturday gone. Someone who could hold the ball, spread it out, and to dominate, because we lost the midfield, it was empty.
That he'll do the job for you.
Obviously, 100%. Now, our game coming back next is obviously in the Premier League. We just jumped from the internationals 1 sec. Is Everton.
It is.
Now, I know Evertonians feel they don't like Anfield. They prefer Goodison more. Obviously, that's because it's the home venue. But do you think you'll go in there with confidence, Dan?
Well, if you look back, obviously a couple of years ago during COVID, Everton came out with an unexpected 2-0 win at Anfield.
Yeah.
I think, however, as I say, with it being in COVID, the fans, they weren't there. And I think just the atmosphere that Liverpool bring when, obviously, they're at their home ground, I think it'll shake Everton up a little bit. And I think Liverpool top of the league at the moment.
But
Everton just at the top of the bottom half.
Well, it could be even closer then, couldn't it? Because 12 points could go to 9, because Arsenal play the day before. Now, the pressure again could be on us. I'm not saying Liverpool, what's happened over the last week, we're out of another 3 trophies, and we've got but people are saying only the league. Now, anyone who wins the league, wow, they're the team of the year, aren't they? That's it. The league is more important to any team in the Premier League, regardless of winning any of the cup. Well, Champions League is probably a big insight into football, but if you'd ask any fan of Premier League football, I think it's the Premier League that they'd all go for in the first place, isn't it?
Yeah, I think obviously you just look at the top 5 leagues across Europe, but still the Premier League comes out on top as the best one.
So let's just see what that brings. You need the atmosphere, you need the players, but looking at yesterday's internationals, I think up to now, we've got Kanate injured, Gravenberg is injured. So what's going to happen now by the time we play Everton? Because we've got every player, I think, away on international duty if they're not injured.
Hopefully we win then.
There you go. It's down to us. But you'll get all these likes of
Big
Arsenal fans and everyone have been screaming Liverpool have had no injuries, which I beg to differ. Because if you look at the start of the season, we were out with Trent. We had a lot of injuries. I think we've only had the likes of Van Dijk and Salah, who have been unscathed, and maybe Gravenberg, who's now injured.
Just gone off.
So
I think you've had, obviously you've got Konate, he's off injured now.
Yeah.
You started the season with Trent. I think Chiesa, you signed him in the summer.
Yeah.
He had played 1-2 games and then he's been out for the rest of the season near enough. I think he's just started to increment himself back into the squad. But I think, you have been shook for injuries. Everton have, to be fair, as well, but I'm not going to say anything else other than that.
Yeah, well, there you go.
He got a bit of blood.
But that Chiesa looked decent there on Wembley, didn't he?
He did. Well, he came on as a sub. In the next couple of minutes, he came through on goal, scored.
He took it well under pressure there. It didn't faze him. So I'm sure he'll have a start there against Everton because I think he deserves it. I know. And that could be, whereas he could be, the main man against Everton amongst all the others. So you never know what that's going to be. It's like a new signing, really. You know, we have saw him at Plymouth where he was woeful and the Liverpool fans said, what have we got here? Then he comes on at Wembley, changes everyone's mind again, scores a great goal. Could he do it against Everton? We remain to be seen on that one.
Yes, we do. Next week.
So we'll go back to the international. There's been a few games played. As you say, Albania, and I think Wales tomorrow they're playing. Is it Wales in the international or is that the World Cup qualifier for Wales? I'm not too sure.
I don't know, to be fair.
Yeah.
I think obviously with the big international break coming on, it's hard to tell, but we shall see. Obviously, we had Japan. I think was it Japan who qualified for the first one?
Yeah, and you have to forgive us because what we're looking at here is we're talking about the international break. Too many fans take notice of it at the moment when the Premier League stops.
Yeah, like you said, sorry, just back onto that. It is the World Cup qualification.
For Wales, there you go.
Wales,
so check that out.
Go.
Oh well, there. So good luck to Wales in that one, I suppose. I'm sure they've got a lot of injuries as well now, haven't they? So they've got to make do with the players.
They've never had the strongest of squads though.
No, true.
We shall see.
They're doing well. Good luck to them, and probably good luck to England tonight, which I don't really believe they'll need it. Do you?
Not really. You said Albania. It's one of the lower ranked teams in across the globe, to be fair. But England being one of the highest ranked teams, I think it'll be a comfortable win.
At least I'm going for 4-0. What about yourself?
I was the 4 off 5.
Yeah, without a shed of doubt.
Yeah.
There we go. So so it's international breaks. That's all we've talked about. You've got grassroots football coming this weekend, no doubt, have you?
Yes, I believe I've got 5 games this weekend.
Fantastic.
So as it stands, I've got 2 for Saturday and 3 for Sunday, which goes down to 5 for my promotion pathway, which I'm looking good with. And I need 25 games. There's been a bit of confusion. Do they have to be offside in place? I don't know. I've just been putting the games I have. It says I've completed 17, 18 at the moment. I've got to make my way to 25 before April 20th or April 30th. So we shall see where that goes. But hopefully everybody else playing at grassroots football this weekend. They have great games. They respect the ref. So we want to see each and every week, isn't it, man?
And also, you've got these games coming up now, and you know yourself. It decides who the league champions are. It decides who is going to the cup finals, and the cup finals basically bring out the worst in some of the parents and spectators, don't it? That's what you've got to face.
Oh gosh, I remember my last season. It was a bit of a chaos, but we deal with it.
Yeah. So fingers crossed you don't have it this year, and they've all learnt the lesson, and they're all following our REFspect guidelines, as you know yourself, Dan, which is on the 12th. 13th of April, and we've also got it on the Sunday, which is the 13th, and that's the Virtu Cup final. And I think Peterborough beat Wrexham to go through on the final, but I'm not too sure who the other team is in the final at the moment. So
we'll have a little good search of it, maybe. Yeah.
So the referees, as we know, the PGMOL, they'll be wearing our t-shirts during that weekend in the warm-ups all around the Premier League ground. So we need everyone to support it, and what we want is ask the committee members to get their kids and managers to get the kids to show a little bit more. What could they do? What could they do to make the game better for a referee coming onto the field of play? What would you like to see more of with the kids over the weekend towards the referee, even the spectators, Dan?
I think it's not so much the players, obviously, grassroots, they just want to play. But when, obviously, like you mentioned, spectators, I think they're the worst for it, and they always have been. I think Liverpool County FA, don't quote me on it, are doing a silent weekend, and the rule is you stay silent, you can only applaud. Coaches coach, players play, referee refs, and I think that's the entire weekend.
I'm glad you brought that up, because that was last weekend actually that was taking place. Did you notice it though? Be honest. No, because what it is in Liverpool, when they've asked me, the FA have taught me and things like that, I just say good luck to it. It's never ever going to work in Liverpool, Manchester, Newcastle, because the people are so passionate. I don't want to take passion out of a game. You know yourself.
Runs the game.
It runs the game. And if you are looked after as a referee, and all they have to do is thanks ref at the end of the game, that makes you feel better. Now, when it's so silent, I'm wondering whether the coaches are supposed to be silent as well. Because if that's the case, because I didn't notice it last week either, silent weekend. Everyone was shouting, giving instructions, everyone was applauding. I didn't notice it, but I know in some leagues, some areas, they sort of made it mandatory and said this is what you've got to do. I'd love to see feedback on it. I'd love to know what really happened. And they had kids talking about it, saying, brilliant, all we want is us to listen to each other and no one else. Now, I beg to differ on that, because kids sometimes do need instruction on the field of play. Because if you stand back and do that and done it every week, what is the point of having a coach then?
Exactly. But like you say, sometimes you get players playing the game, coaches giving them instructions. A couple of seconds later, pass the ball, even though the coach has just told you to shoot, for example. And I feel like sometimes it messes with the players' head sometimes, and it not only might not make them the best football player, they might not score goals, they might not defend well, but I think it just throws their confidence as well. Because who do they listen to? The parent or the coach? Correct.
And plus the fact you've been a youngster playing when you first started, Dan.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy encouragement? Did you love the likes of the clapping, getting behind the team, the support from the team? Or would you rather it was just your coach, yourself?
I would want parents to support you as well. Because obviously most of the time at Grassroots level, the coach is a parent of one of the players on the team.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess there's also, you've got a small group of your parents who are your supporters. And I think, maybe not individually pick out what you need to do, but just like encouragement of the entire team. For a goalkeeper example, I was a goalkeeper. Great save, Danny, great save, great block, well done. Nice assist maybe, never going to hurt a nice goal, but just overall encouragement, not individual, because that is the coach's job to pick out who's working the hardest, who's working well. But as I say, encouragement is part of the game. You want to be encouraged to play well.
And I talk to many referees as well, and the referees always turn around and say they love a bit of atmosphere in the game as well. And they don't like, obviously, the verbal abuse and the aggressive behaviour. None of us do, and that's what our job is. We don't cross the line to take that out of grassroots football if we can. But I believe that no matter what you do, there's never ever going to be a silent weekend where it all works, where it did happen in COVID, didn't it, when we told all the spectators to stand behind trees, stand away from the ground, one parent per player, things like that. But even then, they were all still shouting encouragement. And that was through COVID, that was silence, that was, they tried everything they possibly could. But good luck to anyone that it did work for. If it did work for you, get in touch with us, Mal at don'ttexttheline.com. Add us on a friend on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, all the social network sites. We'd love your input and to tell us how you thought the silent weekend went and if it made a difference whatsoever. We'd love to know how that worked for you. But what we want is a massive difference on our REFspect Awareness Weekend. We want people to get involved in it. We want kids to get involved. we want everyone, if they possibly can, at the end of the game, to say thanks, ref. Put it in your diaries, 12th, 13th of April. Dan, you be keeping a note as well of your games over that weekend, and no doubt over that weekend you'll have your REFspect.
Well, I may not be refereeing, I'll be on my holes, but I will be taking my t-shirt with me, watching any games in the pub, and I'll be enjoying it, wearing my shirt, respecting the referees.
Well, there you go. What more could we ask? And if you're not doing any refereeing, or your friends, tell them to give us the reports, pass it in, let us know how it goes, but we need to publicise it. And I'm sure as you're out this weekend, you'll remind all your committees what it is over the 12th and 13th of April to try and get behind it. Talk to as many managers as you possibly can, let them know about it, and try and get them to support, because it's a major, major national awareness weekend, and it is REFspect. Thank you, referee. Not a problem in that one, is there?
Not a problem at all.
Dan, thanks for coming on to the show. Appreciate it. We'll be back again next week with our young commentators. In the meantime, we'll be back again tomorrow round about 6 p.m. show. Enjoy the international games from myself and Dan.
Thanks guys, thank you very much for tuning in.
Have a great night, and we'll see you on Saturday evening. Cheerio for now. From all of us here.
Guys.
Cheerio.